Welcome to Get Offset. Uh-oh, is it your turn?
I don't know. Is it?
I actually don't remember.
So just
welcome to the Get Offset podcast. My name is Emily.
well.
Oh, it
was
your turn. It was your turn because you shaved last week.
Oh yeah, that was only a week ago. It feels like ages. Been a whole new man.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I'm finding myself still out of habit doing this and just not having anything to grab onto.
That's for the listeners, that's Andrew. I'm Emily.
Indeed. Did my voice just crack? My voice is still waking up.
Yeah. I didn't hear it crack.
I felt it crack. Thank
that
God
could just
for
be the vocal fry.
Thank God for a little bit of compression and maybe flatten that out.
No, this will be a little bit compressed.
Yeah. Ooh. So, man, what a week! I am exhausted.
I'm withholding a sneeze. Andrew's very patiently waiting for me to.
I just saw you put your finger up in the air. I'm like, okay, I guess I'll wait.
No, you can keep going.
So I was reminded that I'm supposed to listen to what my doctors have to say. And not just remember for a couple weeks, but remember for the duration of the time I'm taking medication. I had a friend over for a backyard scotch swap hangout. Yep. So he brought over a nice bottle of scotch, and I happened to also have a few bottles of scotch laying around. And like a dumb 26-year-old, I was like, cool, I don't have to drive anywhere. Completely forgot that on my medicine, I'm really only supposed to have 1 to 2 drinks per the doctor says, which really means I could probably get away with 3 to 4. But 5 glasses of heavy pour scotch, one of which was, I think the scotch that he brought over is a 63%. Which I had
That's
2 glasses.
That's a lot of alcohol, dude.
Yeah. Yesterday was rough. I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah. Oofda.
If I wasn't on medication, that would be no problem. I would have gone to sleep, been fine. But lessons
you
learned.
Wouldn't have slept very well because that's the point of your medication in it.
Sure. I actually slept like a baby. I also slept for 12 hours. But yeah, no. So lessons learned. My poor choices are your lessons to take away. Listen to your doctor and take care of yourself. It's a rough year, and don't let the urge to get a little wild get the best of you. That's my 2021 advice.
Man, it's also the worst time of the year to make resolutions. Because this is January. It's why do people make resolutions in the darkest, nastiest time of the year? Why can't we make resolutions in the spring when it's oh, I would love to do things and not just huddle under a blanket and watch 9 seasons of Cheers.
That is,
by the way, Kirstie Alley's character in Cheers is so whiny, just really, really impossible to enjoy. God,
that's called character development.
Yeah, her character did develop into a very whiny one.
Mm-hmm.
Started as a confident business lady and then just turned into a whiny mess. And now she's, on Twitter, and everyone keeps tweeting at her about how better Shelley Long was on Cheers. Shelley Long would never, every time she tweets something stupid.
Twitter's been so nice this week. Have you noticed?
It's been really nice since mid-month.
Right. Things have been a lot more chilled out. I've seen a lot less conspiracies rollicking around in the deep.
Yeah. That's nice. It's just cats and things like that again. Memes. Lots of Bernie memes. My favorite I had so many favorites, actually. My absolute favorite is the Bernie's working the merch booth.
That's a good one.
That club in Montreal. Yes, I have friends who knew exactly what club that was.
I believe you. My favorite Bernie meme to date was actually a biblically related one. Should probably be difficult to describe. Might ruin it, but it was really, really, really funny if you're familiar with the story of Jonah. So, anyways,
everyone's familiar with the story of Jonah and the whale.
Isn't that song? It's after
my last remark. Jonah and the whale, Noah and the ark.
Yeah, so there's Jonah and the whale, but that's like the first couple chapters of the book. There's like several chapters after that, where like he basically goes to another city and he's like, "You guys all suck. What are you doing?" And like, they're like, "Oh yeah, we do suck. Guess we'll stop sucking." And then Jonah's like, "Wait a minute. I wanted you to actually keep sucking though, because I want you all to die." And when they stopped sucking, they didn't die. And so he just basically went to a tree outside of the city and just sat there and said, "Guess I'm just going to sit here till I die instead because I'm upset." And then that's where the Bernie meme is it's Bernie sitting on a chair under the under the tree outside of the city of Nineveh. Anyways, it's a really weird, screwed up story. But like they didn't though. He just basically sat there until like he was about to die, and God's like, "All right, are you really gonna die out of spite here? Come on, dude, get up, get back there, drink some water."
Big talk to your manager energy there.
Yep. Yep. Anyways, for someone who's a little on the nerdy side when it comes to the Bible, that one hit me in the right spot.
Oh, it's good. It feels good to laugh.
It does feel good to laugh. I do need more of it. I also need to start taking my vitamin D again because, man, this winter's been rough.
It was really nice yesterday. Did you get out in it at all?
It was nice.
Feeling good.
I wasn't feeling great, but we did get out a little bit anyways. We went shopping. We went to Walmart. We got it was like a $7 item and a $4 item, and total is $300. What? It's just it happens every time we go to Walmart.
Just like adding things. I get you.
It's the Costco effect. It's like it's like I got myself like a 6.5-inch cast iron because Melissa's been wanting one for years, and I saw one. I'm like, I'm just gonna grab a little cute, and we'll make I'll go get like some cookie dough or something. Yeah, we'll make pizookies in the cast iron. It's just like little things like that add up. Like, we'll get these toys for the kiddo, and yeah, I should feel bad about shopping there. But
yeah, well. Rick and I walked to the neighborhood bottle shop, Chuck's, because they had a food truck outside, and it was a T''Wanna tacos, and oh my god, it was so good. We brought it back to the house, and I went inside and I bought this lemon basil cider. It was so good. Oh my god, we ate it so slowly, just savoring it, no talking except to say this is really good.
I do like tacos. Great. Tacos are always a good choice.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll make tacos today.
I got the breakfast burrito, and then we split what they call the queso taco, which is a taco with so it's tortilla, and then it's a layer of grilled cheese, and then it's your topping of choice. And it was so good. Oh my god. Just thinking about that one for a minute.
Just letting that really marinate.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good.
I've had the weird effect of Monday through Friday, my work shift is during daylight hours. So like it starts before the sun comes up and like ends like as the sun's going down with how short the days are. And so I went to go leave work on Friday. I'm like, and the sun is literally in my eyes on my drive home. It's so low on the horizon.
Yeah, I remember that like when I was in Nashville, for a while my job was like I didn't have any windows. So I would just be inside because I didn't leave for lunch because they had a cafeteria. So I would literally not see outside like all day. And I'd be
my office doesn't have windows either.
I wonder.
I mean, it's a Microsoft, so it does have windows, but
yours doesn't.
It's a Microsoft Windows joke. Come on.
Oh, yeah. I get it.
I've almost been smacked for that, telling that joke around there.
Yeah. And it would be deserved. You would deserve
it. Oh, yeah. No, I'll tell that story for another day. But
all right. Is that your Roadrunner case back there? You can't see it on the camera because it's going to get cropped out, but I can see it.
That is a bass guitar that belongs to someone at my church that I'm evidently fixing.
Yeah.
Well, it's what I'm supposed to work on. I was going to work on it last night and I ended up just going to bed early because I was still just super out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the plan is, I think this afternoon, I'm gonna, once I clear off the kitchen table, I'm gonna drag all my stuff out there. While I'm watching football, take it apart, fix it, clean up the frets, and do the nice thing. They're just not getting signal out of it. I'm sure it's gonna be a 5-minute fix, but while I've got it, I figure I'll, the fretboard's looking pretty dry, and just do the nice guy thing.
Yeah. While Rick is watching football, I'll probably play guitar and film some demos.
This is not an invitation for all of my Seattle friends to just give me guitars for me to fix for free.
I mean, I do that. I do that for a lot of friends.
I do sometimes. It's usually when it's like, hey, like, could you help me with this? I'm having a hard time versus like, here, fix. Because I've had people try to do that before. Like, could you say please?
Yeah.
Buy me a beer or something?
I usually offer, or they ask. Like my bassist, right before a gig, their bass just stopped working, and we knew it had been working. So, like, I'm like, this has to be either like an easy fix or something just finally is kaput. So I opened it up, and sure enough, it's just like that. The input jack was a little bit loose, so it was kind of turning, and then one of the cables came off of one of the soldering points. So it's just a matter of resoldering and then making sure it was tight enough so that there wasn't too much tension put on the hi Rick. Nothing but Rick. Is that how like a butt rock DJ would say it? Nothing but rock. Nothing but Rick. Or I'm just trying to make Tom Kelly happy. I don't know.
99.7 The Rock. Nothing but Rick. Is that it?
Yay. I think that might be it. Woxy, the future of rock and roll.
Join us after this short commercial break to play the game of What Race Are They? Actual game that was played on a local radio station here in Seattle a couple years ago, where they would describe a crime and then just yeah. I was like, I was listening to the radio station because like a little bit of grunge, a little bit of metal is usually fine, and I was just on the I left work at a different time, so I had a different host, and it was just like, let's guess what race this criminal is based on their crime. And it'd just be stuff like masturbating on on public transit, and they're like, and like they would go with some crazy racial stereotypes, and I'm like, what is this? This is on the air? Are you kidding me?
That's That's very racist.
It was super
very racist.
I don't even remember what channel it is because I took it off of my radio preset list on my car. I'm like, nope, I don't need to listen to that.
That's very racist. That's why would you do that?
It was at like 4:00 to Shock Jock Radio. I'm like, I get it. It's Shock Jock kind of stuff, and the whole thing is, push the envelope until you get your hand slapped.
Hand slapped. Yeah.
But we're fired.
Yeah.
And someone else who's willing to put up with more blue will hire you, and such is the life cycle of a Shock Jock radio DJ.
Oh my gosh. I don't have anything to add to that because I would like to just move on from it.
Anyways, Nothing But Rick is not a racist. That's just purely innuendo. We're good with that.
Mm-hmm. Nothing but Rick. Rick picks all day.
I forgot to tell Rick to say hi, or tell you to say hi to Rick.
Tell Rick on my behalf. Said hi.
Yes. Yep. Yes. That's how the English language
Finish
works.
your weird caffeinated powder drink.
I'm working on it.
Yeah.
I just didn't have time to make coffee.
I'm on cup 2.
I mean, I do have a can of Kirkland cold brew right here. I mean, I'm sure I've got like
shotgun.
How much would you pay me to shotgun a cold brew on the air?
$10.
That's not enough money. Because I'm gonna get it all. I haven't shotgunned a beer since
$25.
I'm not even wearing a shirt under the sweatshirt. It's gonna be so cold. It's gonna stain the carpet. I rent.
See. Could I just whatever. What the hell were we talking about? What's new? What's new?
Oh yeah, what is new? You lent me the OC5 and I haven't played it yet, so I feel bad, but I have played the ukulele.
Ukulele? He's taking off his headphones, listeners. He's grabbing the ukulele. He has the ukulele in his hands. He's putting his headphones back on. Quick, say something about him. Ukulele. What have you learned on it so far? It's a major scale.
This is the song that everyone has to know.
Oh, it's that version of Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
That's the Jason Mraz song.
Oh. I'm Yours?
I'm Yours?
Yeah. That is like number 1 on ukuleletabs.com or whatever.
Yeah, it's yep.
His guitarist is really cool, Molly Miller.
Totally. I've heard nothing but cool things about Molly.
Yeah. I think isn't she a sinusoid artist?
She is. Yeah, no, Andy Kim's told me some cool stories about her.
Nice.
No, I like Jason Mraz, actually. Like, unironically, I do like Jason Mraz. People were obsessed with him in high school. My friend group was. Well, some people in my friend group were. His older stuff is honestly like, and then you start moving like more like poppy. I'm like, it's fine. But like Geek and Pink and like stuff like that is just like, it's on point.
Yeah. I like him.
It's fun.
I don't have anything bad to say. I don't have anything bad to say about him.
It's fun. It's spunky. It's relatively intelligent. I mean, makes me laugh.
It's great for moods. Good.
It's everything I want out of like a good like road trip album.
See, when I'm on a road trip, I just put on like Western swing and old time country music. We sipped in tandem there.
We did.
Yeah.
This is definitely not quite hitting the spot. I will be making myself a nice cup of coffee after this.
Nice. Do you want to hear about what's new with me?
I suppose. I see something in the background. I see it. I seen it.
So my band Sunday Crush released our debut album. And to commemorate it, you can customize vans like completely. Mm-hmm. So I did some custom vans. The side panels feature the album artwork. Most of the shoe fits like that color. It's actually a pretty close match to the pink that's actually on the album cover. You have to look very closely to not see it's the same. And on the back, I have it says
Sunday Crush.
Sunday Crush on the heels. It's nice. It's really hard. It's not showing up super duper well on the webcam, but I posted pictures.
Check out pictures on the Instagrams.
Yeah, and I had a $25 coupon, so they were only like I think it was like $85.
Nice.
It was kind of a pain in the butt though, because they kept saying they would, I guess, run the art you submit through like Google or something.
Sure.
And then they saw that it like existed on Google, and they're like, you have to sign a form that says that you have the rights to use this, which I'm glad they do. And then it just turned into a 2-week process of like, are you going to send me the form that I need to sign?
Right.
Okay, now you sent me the form. Are you going to approve it? Now that you've approved it, can you resend me the coupon code from my order that you canceled? Because they canceled the original order instead of just like pausing it. I guess it's easier. So And then it all worked out and I got my shoes finally.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely important to for companies not to reproduce copyrighted material.
As you know.
As I am aware of, I've definitely dug into the legal weeds. I actually had a request this last week for the Van Halen like red, white, black stripy pattern for a topper. And the first thing I said was, I mean, sure, I guess I'll do it. That's fine. I didn't know that it's copyrighted. I should have, like, now that I say that out loud, or when I said it out loud the other day, I was like, oh yeah, I guess that's.
Of course it is.
If I was at event, of course that is. You got the money. It's your signature. I mean, why would it not be?
Yeah.
And so I'd be like, and I'm so sorry to tell you this. I was not aware, and now I am, that it's copyright. I can't do it. I can't do a variation on it. I'm sorry. Not without getting.
Can't even do a variation like you did for the Snazzy?
Well, Snazzy's not copyrighted anymore.
Oh.
Yeah. And they don't enforce it. So, no, I had a good conversation. Anyways, I could probably do a variation, but it'd have to look different enough to not be confused for.
Yeah,
and then that kind of ruins the point.
Yeah.
So I mean, part of me wants to like reach out and be like, hey, I got a couple of customers, small time thing. Any chance you'd work out a small licensing deal for like, I don't know, what would that be worth it to you guys for me to be able to reproduce that?
Yeah.
I'm sure it wouldn't. I'm sure it'd be a lot. I'm sure it wouldn't be worth it, but at least I have the answer.
Yeah. I have another new thing. It's in a big Chase Bliss.
Oh.
Box.
Oh, I forgot you ordered that.
I did. It is. Oh my god.
The white side panels.
Yeah,
the faders. The switches.
Faders. It is the Chase Bliss Maris Automaton
CXM
collaboration. Yeah, and I am very excited. Very excited to start messing with this thing.
I feel like you could, like, from everything I've heard out of the demos on that, between that and the oh my god, the distortion one, the preamp. What is it?
The preamp Mark II.
Preamp Mark II. There we go. Brain fuzzy.
It has two types of fuzz.
I feel like you could. I feel like you could just play an entire show with just those two, not run into a lot of issues.
Yeah, totally. Plug it into your Milkman the amp, and you've got everything you need.
Maybe just like a delay pedal. Excited.
Room, plate, and hall reverbs. Low, medium, high diffusion. I love the arcade style buttons, and then the enormous.
Look at that.
With a lot of presets, or no, yeah, these are the presets at it. So I'm probably going to have a lot of fun with this later. Now I just want to look at it.
Would you just look at it?
Look at it. Clack.
Well, nice. I do believe it's about that time of the episode for sponsors. Not to be confused with dinosaurs, but sponsors.
Dude, that was weak.
It has been a week.
With dinosaurs. Mm-hmm. What the hell? Dude, you're better than that.
Well, now everyone's going to remember that.
Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Yeah.
If there's anything I excel at, it's it being unforgettable, and not necessarily for the right reasons.
Unforgettable. Oh my god. Can you do the sponsor spot?
I suppose I could. In fact, I would be overjoyed to do so. This week's episode of the Get Offset podcast is brought to you by Partscaster, Concierge. No, it's not that one. I'm getting head nods. Concierge. There we go. The English language is difficult. However, one day I may be a master at it. But that's not what's important right now. What's important right now is that you right now should stop everything that you're doing and you should go to Partscaster Concierge website.
Link in video.
Link in video. Like maybe wait until I'm done with this ad spot to know what you're about to get yourself into. But or maybe don't. Maybe just pause the video right now and just go right over there. You're already at your computer. You're already watching my face on YouTube. I'm doing all sorts of weird hand movements. You should just do it.
Can you just talk about the product? My God, dude.
Okay, so the product.
You're really not helping us keep sponsors.
So the product, Partscaster bodies, custom routing. Yeah. Gary is a really, really helpful individual. He'll help you plan out your build. He'll help you build out your build. He wants to make sure that you are set up for success in your Partscaster ventures. And I can think of no one better to partner with on that said venture. And I've got some ideas I've been talking about for a couple of weeks, and I think we finally sorted out what we're going to do, but I'll hold off and we'll just let this be a surprise for what I'm going to be doing personally, but I'm definitely excited to work with Gary personally on this. So
yeah, no, Gary's great. So he has like a couple of body types, some very popular ones, including Jazzmasters, RD styles, Telecasters, and then he can customize them to whatever configurations you want in terms of pickups, in terms of like wirings and placements. So there are customization options that are a lot more affordable than, say, somebody like Warmouth, who is local, and we love Warmouth, and I have built some Warmouth. I have a bunch of Warmouth parts in my house right now. But yeah, so if you want something that's like customized but still like one of his body types, there's a lot that he can do, and I recommend checking him out. He's a friend of the podcast.
Friend of the show.
Yeah. So this week was a little different than this week was last year.
It was, yeah. I about this time last year was on a convention floor with tens of thousands of people walking around screaming at each other because of the decibel levels without masks. We were just spitting each other's faces, flinging microparticles of all of our germs all over the place with little to no ventilation.
Oh, I'm sure it was ventilated, but
you get the point.
Yeah, but this year, NAMM was. Am I saying it? NAMM. It's NAMM. It's NAMM. Why do I? NAMM. NAMM was all virtual, and they called it the Believe in Music Week, and they had this thing called this platform called Swapcard. That's like a virtual conference platform. It was only a little bit confusing, and people did things like there were lots of videos, like there were sessions like there are at NAMM,
right?
But it was kind of this weird mix of actual live panels from like Ultimate Ears did a bunch of live ones, Mackie did a bunch of live ones, and I'm sure there were other live ones that I just missed. And then there was a lot of pre-recorded content. I was actually really sad when I tried to tune into the Jimmy Jam and oh gosh, who is that other? Minneapolis Sound Guys produced Janet Jackson. Terry Lewis and Jimmy Jam. And I'm not sure why do I keep saying like the wrong things. But it was just literally the panel that they did last year. And that kind of bummed me out. Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. God, I need to just have more confidence in myself. But it was just like what they had done last year. Then there were a few that were literally just like product videos or commercials. I mean, it makes sense that not everything is live, but it was kind of a bummer to see like things that were months old. But I get it. Right. I get it. Not like I think it was a little bit like late in the game for a lot of people who decided to actually do stuff for it. So that anything was like a live kind of thing was cool. And it was, you could browse the products, giveaways, you could connect with people. I tried to connect with some people. Hopefully connected with some people.
Sure.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah,
I realized that Tacky is local to the Pacific Northwest. For some reason, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're based out of Woodinville, I want to say.
That's correct, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they're based out of Woodinville, and they had, like, Lisa Prank was on one, Mike Herrera was on one, and, Taco Cat also. I poked in on some of those.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some complaints about like, oh my god, damn, this year is so cheesy. I'm like,
I don't think I would describe it as cheesy.
The content is there. Some of the releases are phenomenal, and as far as content creation, I mean, this year's been so rough on so many people, and there's a lot of companies that are just struggling to just work out remote work and being able to fulfill orders still, and then to pile on top of, oh yeah, now we need to completely reimagine what your NAMM presence looks like, which will require a very different set of skills and production, and just, I mean, come on. I'm not saying that like it's something that anyone should have skimped on, but if your expectation is like, I demand this, let's set our expectations a little bit lower. It's been a rough year for a reason. That's kind of my 2 cents. I don't know.
No, I mean, just like it obviously wasn't like, I just think getting used to this kind of format is weird for a lot of people. Sure. I think that it kind of sucks to say that, like, knowing that you could just watch it later if you wanted to is going to make you less likely to watch it in general.
Right.
Yeah. You have to have deadlines. You have to communicate those deadlines, I think. Ooh, that's what I want to watch. Cameras for Musicians by Zoom North America. Did you have any favorite like product launches?
I am loving some of what Fender's done this year.
Ooh, that Chrissie Hynde telly, I really want it.
Chrissie Hynde, the Ben Gibbard, and the Jason Isbell. Yeah. I mean, someone is knocking my wall. My kid's throwing a ball around in the other room.
Oh. You're talking about tellies and Fender.
Sure. I mean, Fender, I think, has just knocked it out of the park this year. And I feel like I gush on them a lot, but it's deserved. Sorry.
I don't know what they're doing.
No, I think they did a really good job. I am super thrown, though, like in the realm of Fender, to see Josh Smith go to Ibanez. Did you see the Josh Smith's signature Ibanez?
No, I didn't.
You should check that out. Because it's basically a Telecaster, but with like a banana shaped control plate.
Oh yeah, I liked Ryan Burke's little video about that.
Yeah, I mean, I chuckled at that pretty heftily.
Could Josh have looked less like miserable in this picture on the?
He always looks like he's just like deep and brooding and maybe upset with something.
He just looks upset with something. Yeah, that is a Telecaster with a weird loop, kind of.
Yep. Oh, I mean, it's Ibanez. Like, I'm sure it's a fine guitar. They also added Larry Basilio.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the LB1.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That one looks sick.
That's one I like reached out. I'm like, they're not gonna get back to me, but I'm like,
sure. I mean, that one's sick, and it's good to see them add another woman to their lineup, kind of round things out. Because last year was like Yvette was like the next, like the second one after Nita Strauss.
Nita Strauss, yeah.
So I think that was cool. I think in the terms of pedals, Astral Destiny looks great. I'm a little disappointed that
mine will be here tomorrow.
I'm slightly disappointed that's not stereo because I'm a stereo nut. But at the same time, the demos I'm hearing out of this, it sounds pretty stinking cool. And I like the stretch feature.
And it's got a good price point. It's like $200.
Yeah, $200. That's a phenomenal price point. I mean, I'm not. Don't misunderstand. I'm not disappointed.
It's like if you wanted the sounds of the night sky, but you don't want to pay that much and you don't need stereo.
Sure.
Astral Destiny.
Sure. I mean, that one looks pretty sick. In Walrus Audio. I think we'll be seeing more from them here soon, from us in terms of demos. But I knew the R1 was coming out. I probably knew a little bit more about that than I should have, but I'm excited to see it surface. What?
Not from me, because I didn't know very. I just remember like months ago, you're like they're going to do another Mako series.
Well, they did. But then they hit me with the curveball. I didn't know they were doing the ACS one, which by the way, it took me till like yesterday to figure out why it was called that.
Why is it called that?
It's called that because it's the Amp Cab Simulator 1. Yeah. Yep. And
again, for some reason, like as simple as that is, D1, Delay 1, Reverb, R1, and then Amp Cab Simulator. For some reason, that's the one that I'm like, what are the letters again? Because I think like the Boss has the AS1, like the AS hyphen numbers, like for their acoustic simulators. So when I first saw it, I was like, did Walrus do an acoustic simulation pedal?
I could see the brain confusion there.
It's the same color too.
Right. No.
But it's not that at all. It's just like a coincidence that it just happens to like mirror one of Boss's least popular pedals.
Sure. No, the only brain confusion I'm getting out of it is I swear every time I look at this, I'm like, did Covenant Cables make a pedal because it's the same brackets? But no, I mean, I was totally thrown by that one. I think I like that it's, without having played it, first glance, my thoughts are, first off, I like that you can do a different cab or a different amp in each channel. That's something that
was your one complaint about the Iridium.
That was my one complaint about the Iridium. And I'm not just saying that just because it's available now. Like I think I said several times on the podcast last fall.
You definitely said to me many times. And I was like, I don't think it's a big deal. And you're like, it's a huge deal for worship players.
It's a huge deal. Because I know a ton of worship players that will run dual mono, which requires 2
amps.
And then for other folks, stereo but with different amps is another flavor. It's not something I personally dig a whole lot because I don't like it feeling that off balance, unless you're for live sound, maybe for a record. But then what I really want to be able to do is do my left channel as a Vox and just dry, and right channel as a Fender sound through all my wet effects, split into stereo from there, and just have Vox in the center, Fender on left and right. And just this huge, that would sound so much better than right now. It's just all Fender for all 3 across.
So you're saying you want the Iridium and?
What I'm saying is I'm excited to see the new feature from Walrus. I think that was it. Aside from that, I mean, their bitrate conversion it's like 48 kilohertz.
Yeah.
Some people are upset about that. I think I'm willing to wait until I hear it in person to pass any judgment.
Yeah.
But I know
ultimately it's like when you compare the features and everything, it's going to come down to how does it sound, and like I'm willing to bet that like the Iridium is going to be better in some situations, and then the ACS1 is going to be better in other situations. Like I don't think it's going to. They're just different. They're just very different. A lot of MIDI on the ACS1, MIDI in the back, which is why it doesn't have why it has side jacks. So like, I think, I don't know. I was talking about this in the support us on Patreon for access to our super secret Discord server. Do you think that more people would consider the Iridium not having the ability to do left and right different amps? Do you think that would be a bigger deal breaker than the fact that the ACS1 has side jacks instead of top jacks? Like, which one would be the bigger deal breaker for people? I'm really curious.
The side jacks isn't going to bother anyone because the rest of the series is like that, and I've seen it integrated into a bunch of boards seamlessly.
Yeah, but some people just don't like side jacks.
I don't like side jacks in general, no. But at least this one seems to be like side jacks, but for a reason. And it's a really small pedal. I don't think people realize how much smaller the chassis is. It's definitely a tight squeeze. And I think I think it's probably only maybe a quarter to half an inch total skinnier than a standard enclosure size. But I mean, I think that makes up for the fact that
is bigger than a standard enclosure. So.
Oh, Iridium's huge. I mean, even with side jacks, the Iridium's going to still take up more space on board, which doesn't necessarily bother me. I think Walrus knew exactly what they were doing. I think that they were intentionally starting a little bit of a war, and I'm curious to see how it plays out. May the best. I don't think there's going to be a clear winner. I think it's just going to come down to preference, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I do too. And just from what I've heard other people say about it, is that they're just different.
Yep. I'm really happy with my Iridium. I'm not like feeling the need to go and sell it and go running out.
Yeah.
HX Stomp XL. Curious to see more on that. That got leaked.
Did it get leaked? I know if there's like people aren't sure if it was Photoshop or not.
I don't know if it was leaked. I think I finally Line 6 finally like officially announced it.
Oh really?
Yeah. But speaking of leaks, and I guess backtracking to the Astral Destiny a little bit, don't be the person to leak, because Earthquaker Devices put so much hard work into their product releases. Like it's like a small holiday for them, like with like how much celebration and how much they do in terms of like the teaser videos. That's work. I mean, it's
work.
It's work. It's exciting. Yeah. It's hype. It's everything that company wants it to be. And to see all of that more or less ruined because someone's like, I'm going to post this. Like I'm going to screenshot the press release and post it to Reddit, or have a friend post it to Reddit so they don't know who leaked it. I don't know. It's dumb.
At the same time, I've said this before. A product being leaked is a lot like an album being leaked, and that there are plenty of executives in the music business who get worried if an album doesn't leak because it is a signal of disinterest.
Sure.
So if something leaks, at least people are interested. It is not ideal. It is not ideal, but it is an indication that people care and are interested. So not ideal, but also not the worst thing in the world. It's kind of a bummer. It's like getting a spoiler for a movie or a TV show that you had still intended to see.
I feel like it's definitely more like a spoiler because it's like, oh, and it's just I'm getting it from like someone sent me a screenshot like, hey, do you know if this is real already? I'm like, I would have rather just heard it from Earthquaker directly.
I thought it was funny that you were pretending in the Discord that you knew more than you did. And you kept saying, I can't say anymore. You were like, well, you can. And finally I said, why do you all assume Andrew knows anything about this?
Because I'm a punk.
Because I kept saying, he literally can't say more about this because he doesn't know more about this.
Or did I?
If you knew more and you weren't telling me, I'm going to be kind of upset.
About the Astral Destiny?
Yeah.
I'll talk to you after the episode.
Oh. He's so full of crap, listeners. So full of crap.
I'll talk to you after the episode, but I'm not entirely full of crap. I'll explain. I will explain how I knew more than I was able to say. Speaking of knowing more than I am able to say, as far as releases go, my favorite release of this season hasn't been announced yet. I can't wait for everyone to know that. That's all I can say. But is in terms of general, I'm not going to tell you if it's a guitar, an amp, or a pedal, or what. All I'm going to say is
you're going to tell me after we're done recording, or I'm going to get.
Yes, I'm going to tell you. You already know what it is.
Then I'm just not thinking about it.
You lent it to me.
Oh wait, never mind.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, you've lent it to me. It's incredible, and that's all I'm going to say is of all the things we've talked about today, the thing that I'm most excited about is something that hasn't even been released yet. And I'm excited.
I'm glad you're excited about it.
All right.
We'll be able to talk about it soon. Don't fret. Don't fret. Next weekend.
Should I open a can of worms?
No.
Okay, I won't say anything about what my thoughts are on the Kramer lineup.
Oh, no, yeah, go ahead. I thought you were still talking about the other thing.
So Kramer's released a whole 3 new signature models. And I just find myself staring at this going, Gibson, what are you doing? Get some fresh blood in there. Let's see here. Where is it on this list? I am excited that Gibson
Are you
did
talking about the Snake Sabo Beretta?
Yeah.
No, these are boring.
They're boring. They're stuck in the 80s. They just
lots of people are stuck in the 80s.
Well, sure. And nostalgia is a hell of a drug, and that's fine. Like I'm here for nostalgia, but I feel like there's more that could be done with Kramer. And when someone at Gibson told me last year that there's some really cool stuff on the books for Kramer coming out soon, I really hope this wasn't what they're talking about. I'm sorry. Best thing I've said before, the best thing that Gibson's got going for them is Epiphone. The Nancy Wilson signature, I think, is the best thing that they've done this year. 100%. Yep.
$530. That's it. And I had a friend in high school who had a Blues Hawk, and she really liked that thing.
I think it's the best thing they've put out this year. I think it's going to get people excited. It's bringing a little bit of diversity. It's at an accessible price point, so that can be somebody's first guitar. The Kirk Douglas signature SG, I think, is also really sick.
I'm actually kind of surprised that he has a signature SG and not a signature. We're talking about the guitars from the Roots, by the way, not the deceased actor.
No, that one makes me really excited to see.
I was expecting, because I thought he was more famous for playing that cornet or something like a cornet.
I feel like I've always seen him with an SG.
And who in the Roots plays the cornet? Prince, because he phone. Oh, it was a Crestwood. It was Kirk Douglas's Epiphone Crestwood that Prince borrowed for a show, asked to buy it before the performance on the Tonight Show. And then Prince broke it during the performance. Oh, why would you do that?
That's a choice. That is a life choice. I think those are two signatures I'm excited about, that I think Gibson did the right thing, and I think that is where I'm seeing the value in what Gibson's releases are this year. I mean, there's other things that I think a lot of people are going to be excited about. I don't see anything that younger folks are going to be excited about other than those two. And even then, like, I don't know how much like the younger folks are really going to be excited about. I don't know. I'm rambling. I think I set my expectations too high.
I mean, I'm sure Gibson is like, what do you people want? So what do the people want? What do we want from Gibson?
Well, what I want from Gibson is for more to go into Epiphone. I'd love to see some more put into Epiphone. I think last year my takeaway from NAMM was I'm blanking on the series so hard right now, but they did a series. It was like $300 or $400 guitar, and it had a really skinny neck and a skinny nut width. It was specifically intended for smaller hands. I think that was great. I just haven't seen enough of that coverage on that model. I haven't walked into Guitar Center and had someone say, hey, like, I mean, granted, COVID set in right after NAMM, but I feel like that's huge for them. I want to see more of that. I want to see more signatures from younger folks. I want to see how
many signature guitars does Slash need?
I mean, that's a funny way of putting it, but
give me a Sarah Zimmerman signature SG. Give it to me. Yes,
absolutely. I feel like trying to decide how nicely I want to put this. I feel like Gibson is doing some of the right things, but in order to balance out some of what I think are the wrong things that are really damaging a lot of trust of the community, they've got to overdo it on the right things to make up for it. And I just don't feel like I feel like they're doing some of the things right, and I think they're great, but it's just so easy to see it get overshadowed just from a PR management playing armchair quarterback here. But in terms of like features, more signatures from young people. I want to be able to check out local indie bands and see Gibsons in people's hands. And I'm not seeing that.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, I feel like I've seen, God, I'm trying to think about like the young indie folk I've seen playing Gibsons. I think it was, I saw Lucy Dacus play a Les Paul Studio once. And that's, I'm sure like other Les Pauls and SGs here and there.
Well, sure. I mean, you've got like Celise and like, it's not like no one is playing it that's young and well known.
Right.
It's like, if I like really sit down and think about it, like I'm starting to come up with some ideas here. I think the answer is more of that.
Yeah. Fender has done kind of a killer job, like keeping their guitars indie cool and like pop music cool, which I think really helps. Like those are the people who are providing a lot of brand visibility right now.
Brand visibility, like, sales,
yeah, it's
recognition like, from the younger crowd.
It's like, is Kesha known for playing guitar? No, but when she posts pictures with a guitar, then her audience is like, oh yeah, guitars are cool. I want a guitar like Kesha.
Sure.
Yeah. And I just think that's kind of how it works. And I think that when you look at the difference, it really is Fender's going after young people because they know that if you become someone's first love in the guitar world, then they're going to stick with you a lot harder.
Sure.
Gibson was my first love in the guitar world. Some of my first really nice guitar were Gibson guitars. Like, and that was like years and years and years. And
first electric guitar I spent a lot of time with was an Epiphone SG. I mean,
yeah. I mean, I had a Gibson Les Paul and I had a Gibson ES 135 and Gibson Hummingbird. And they were great. I loved those guitars and I still love the Hummingbird. I sold the others, but Fender's just been killing it.
Fender's been killing it. They've done a really great job, in my opinion, of balancing the vintage correct fanatics, because both Fender and Gibson have the vintage correct fanatic kind of crowds. I think Gibson's done a really good job of managing that crowd. I think Fender's done a really great job of managing that crowd. I can't fault Gibson for doing a really great job. Like I'm looking at their 1961 custom shop SG models. Excellent. Yeah. I'm not sure that's. I can't fault them there.
It's not enough to go all in on just that.
Sure.
You have to do things that are hip and cool. You really have to like appeal to like this generation that's like our age and younger. They want uniqueness. They want something that's a little bit weird. And I think that you need to figure out how to embrace that. And I think
want to see it on TV and not have the headstock taped over. I mean,
I think the Nighthawk is a nice little weird guitar, and I think that the Crestwoods and Cornets that they're coming out with, and
like, Nancy Wilson signature is the best thing that they've done this year. I'll say it again.
Yeah.
I think Gibson is a legacy brand that deserves real quality, and I think that these are steps in the right direction. I think seeing again the Nancy Wilson, I think seeing that is a step in the right direction, even moving from last year. So I am seeing positive growth here.
Yeah.
But I just want to see more. Give me more. If you want me to love Gibson again, you got to do more on some of that. So, I don't know. The vintage correct stuff isn't going to do it for me.
Yeah. I would love for them to look back and see what is some weird thing that like the Gibson Marauder or something.
Sure.
Re-release like the weird stuff that wasn't popular at the time that has a bit of a fan base now, which I think is what they're trying to do a little bit of. But then there was just a major PR snafu for that one.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I know it's easy like to quote unquote rag on Gibson these days because a lot of people are doing it. And I'm trying not to be just negative Nancy. And I'm trying to frame my brain around like if Gibson were to succeed, what would they need to do? What from as a young person, what do I want to see? What do other young people want to see? And I think I think that's and that's where I come in with Epiphone is the best thing that Gibson's got, because that's the Gibson gateway drug.
Yeah. They need to make Epiphones cool in the way that Fender's made Squiers cool.
Squiers are badass right now. It's great.
Yeah. It's like when
I have no problem rocking a Squier on stage. None whatsoever.
Yeah, well, it's like when I lived in Brooklyn, I told my mom I was going to live in Brooklyn. She's like, "Why?" And then she talked to a friend, and her friend was like, "Brooklyn's cool. Brooklyn's cool now." And I think that you need to just like be able to have people like come, because like even now, like in the offset guitar groups and all these groups, like if you talk about Squiers, people, there's some like usually boomer going to rag on, oh, it's just a Squier, why do you care, it's just a Squier, sure. And then there's a bunch of millennials and exennials jumping in and being like, no, Squiers are cool, like right. They're knocking out of the park, like oh yeah, not everything has to be like so pristine, like it doesn't all have to be like American Professional 2 quality guitar. It can be, you can have a lot of fun with a $400 guitar if it's made well enough. It doesn't have to be perfect. Like it comes maybe not super well intonated. Maybe you have to do a little bit of work on it, but it comes in a great playable condition that is just inspires you to pick it up and have fun with it. And I think that you need
that. And I think there's Epiphone models out there that are that. I think, and I think them trying to revamp the Crestwood and the Coronet series, I think is part of that initiative. I can't say I love the way that was brought to existence, but I see the value in what that means for the brand.
Yeah.
In terms of quote unquote make it cool again. I mean, the quality of Epiphones have been a lot better. The change of the headstock shape was a huge step for them. I think they're heading in the right direction, and maybe I'm just being a priss, but
a priss.
I meant to say prick, and I don't know where I got priss from.
Prissy.
Oh. Maybe I'm just being a prick. I don't know. It's very possible. I'll probably get angry messages after this. Yeah, that's fine.
Maybe.
I probably will.
All right,
I will.
Well,
I will.
I'll let you feel those.
Sure. Share your thoughts. I mean, these are my thoughts. It's not like I'm not right about everything.
Yeah. That's true. You're not right about everything.
I'm frequently wrong.
Yeah, that's true. I'm trying to figure out I'm trying to remember if there's anything else from NAMM that really caught my eye, and I don't know. I feel like brands aren't really waiting for NAMM this year, because it's not really this big thing. It's like, and this is someone else's idea, but just the idea, like the fact that people can't go around and post their own influencer photos or like from the NAMM floor of the cool thing, I think is really cuckolding the reach of some of these new products. Because you're getting a press release. People aren't gonna share, like repost pictures like of that one brand post of their own stuff, like they would post their own pictures of it if they were walking around and just saw it. So right. I think that's really hampering the word of mouth reach of NAMM, and I think that's kind of the biggest issue with it going fully digital.
Sure, like I was walking around taking pictures of stuff last year and posting like, dude, check this out. And as I'm passing other people, I'm like, hey, go check out the whatever booth. They've got something cool. You should go see. Oh, I've already seen it. Oh, what?
No.
I think there's a lot of that hype that kind of comes out to play.
Yeah.
There's Boss pedal boards. That's okay. So Boss pedal boards is something that I forgot to mention that I was very intrigued by. Because they've got a pedal board that comes with a patch bay even.
Have they never done that before?
So the couple of the smaller pedal boards that they did look exactly like look just like a polished version of some of the older ones that like carry like 3 Boss pedals, like the pluck foam kind of look.
Yeah.
But then they did a larger one. I think it's like a 24-inch by like 14 or something like that. And it's the input on the left and the there's the 3 output patch bay on the back.
Yeah, I'm looking at the BCB 60 right now. It's too small. I want bigger picture. I like that they have handles.
The handles BCB are cool.
The BCB 1000.
That's what I'm looking at.
It has like the roller. It's like roller luggage.
Yep.
I would fly with that.
Totally. It that screams travel. Take me with you.
Take me with you. Yeah, this is actually a lot nicer, I think, than some of their older boards. Like, it looks cooler. I like how the guy in the picture has his nice black Chelsea boots. Very P-dub.
Right.
Yeah.
Very on point. Very on point.
Actually, this isn't from NAMM, but I got those Fender Tweed pedal board cases for 2 of my boards, and I really like them.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't tell me about those. Yeah. Rude.
Well, they're nice. They're tweed. Tweed is fun. I got one for my big board that Dan Dolan made, and then I got one for one of my Squatch boards. But like, you can take the lid off and have it that kind of situation. But I don't know if I would ever do that just because of the Velcro. You'll have to watch the demo to get.
Okay, I'll watch the demo.
I think it's really cool. I think it's nice solutions, and it's because I just had like a sort of padded like gig bag type bag for my board, which was convenient, but just the fact that it couldn't stand up on its own was weirdly like an enormous negative for me, like for storage. Actually storing my pedal board when I wasn't using it. So being able to just kind of stand them up, and that's actually really, really nice, and a pretty enormous space saver for my teensy little office.
Sure.
So, yeah. Unrelated. I paid for those also.
I'm just trying to figure out where the power, if there's a dedicated power input on these things or not.
On the smaller ones there is, so I would be surprised if the bigger ones don't have that. Are you talking about the Boss pedal board?
Yeah.
There's a junction box, but I don't see space underneath for cable management and power supply, so it doesn't sound like it. $411, but it is,
it's a flight case built in.
Yeah, flight case, yeah.
I wouldn't feel too bad. I wouldn't feel too bad about I wouldn't check it, but just taking it as a carry-on. It looks about carry-on size.
The BCB 90X Deluxe looks like it has a power supply built in, and it's still very rugged looking. No wheels.
Yeah,
that's slim. Damn.
I've only taken I think last time I checked a pedal board, or not checked, but I brought it as a carry-on. It definitely got they're like, all right, hold up. We're going to have you step aside, sir. We're going to swipe this thing for the bomb sniffers or whatever. And
yeah. No,
they rub a coffee filter over it, punch it in a machine. Like, cool, you're not a terrorist. I'm like, thanks, I knew that.
Well, they didn't know that though.
Which concerns me. Is there something about the way I look that would give that appearance?
Well, white men.
Mm-hmm. I'm part Middle Eastern. Thank you.
You are, yeah.
I am.
Which part?
Lebanese. And somehow the only people that notice it are TSA agents. I swear.
One of my favorite jokes in Mean Girls was that Janice Ian, she was called a lesbian, and then later she says that she's Lebanese. So you kind of understand much later, oh, that's where they got that. That's where they got that she was a lesbian from.
Yeah, no.
It took me a while.
I had a family member who, a male family member who was comforting a friend of his who was a girl in middle school because she had been called a lesbian and she was a lesbian because that was a bad thing at the time. But he's like, don't worry, I'm part lesbian too. And she just super confused. It just, totally happened. Yep. Really that joke will never get old in this household. Yeah.
I'm part lesbian too.
Yep.
Someone's just going to pull that. I'm part lesbian too. Yeah.
Well, other than that, I mean, I don't know. Nothing else really stands out to me. Nothing that I'm looking at going, I wish I had more money in my bank account outside of those options.
That's generally the feeling of when lots of things get announced. But, I'm supposedly going to get those new Walrus pedals to try out. So I'll do a little mini stereo board, which I think is going to be a lot of fun. Because I also have the Juliana, which is a stereo chorus / vibrato.
Right. So I guess you just need a drive pedal in front of that, and
maybe I do, maybe I don't.
Or maybe you just use the drive from the ACS1 Amp Cab Simulator 1.
I don't know how much gain that has on tap.
Or if it's going to be a desirable gain. I know that's the concern with the 48 kilohertz is how is it going to handle dirt?
Yeah.
But how is it going to handle dirt itself, and how is it going to handle dirt being put into it? Curious.
Yeah. Definitely need to test that out. Test those waters.
The Iridium shines so well there. So in terms of sound quality, I think it's a tall order to ask something else to also pull off the ability to take dirt well.
I mean, shoot, I can demo boost pedals with the Iridium, and I think it sounds pretty good.
Sure.
Yeah. But sometimes I don't. Nice. Well, that's really all I've got for today. I don't remember if there's anything else I wanted to say. Please check us out on Patreon. Please check us out at getoffsetpodcast.com/shop. Use our Sweetwater and Reverb affiliate links. Thank you to everyone who's done that. Someone spent like $1,200 with our Reverb link.
Nice.
Yeah, I like it when that happens.
I'm trying to convince a buddy of mine he keeps coming back. He's like, should I buy this Fender? Should I buy this Fender? I'm like, yes, but also like use the affiliate link.
Yeah.
I like texted it to him. He's like, wait, you have a what? My friends from college. Yeah. He's like, wait a minute. I didn't realize your podcast is like gotten so big. I'm like, yeah, maybe. Might
big
have. It's like, don't you have like 30 listeners a week? I'm like, add a 0.
Add at least a 0.
At least, yeah. It was a funny conversation.
That is funny. I think our average in this year has been, more than that. More than 30.
More than 30. And to all of the more than 30 of you out there listening right now, thank you for watching.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you for understanding all of my ill-advised rants that I'm sure I'll get angry messages about later for.
Yell at Andrew about Gibson. Don't yell at me about it.
Sure. Yell at me. That's fine.
What else are people going to yell at you about this week?
I'm sure they'll find something to yell at me for. That's fine. I don't have an ego. I don't have an ego to defend. I could be wrong. I'm willing to be wrong. That's fine. All I ask is give me your argument nicely. Don't actually yell at me, but like if we want to have a conversation, I'll have that conversation. In fact, if you join the Patreon, I'll have that conversation all day. I do frequently. I've had the Gibson conversation with a couple of folks in there several times over now. It's been great. Yeah. And I have been proven wrong, and that's fine.
Being wrong is cool because you get to learn something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm not above being wrong by any stretch of the imagination. And for $5 a month, you can have the opportunity to privately tell me that I'm very wrong.
I'm sorry. I just got a Facebook ad for Carlton cases, and it was just somebody throwing a guitar in one of their cases off of the roof of their warehouse. Then a woman coming up with a legit like flamethrower and burning the case, and then another guy coming up and putting the fire out, and then a car driving over it and then backing up over it, and now they're about to.
Yeah, I saw that.
Huh. I hadn't seen that. Oh, it got hit by the car again.
I think
this is a great ad.
Let me see here. I know Dylan McCurchie is great at destroying guitars with his truck, and I know Ryan Burke likes to throw things.
He threw. Well, that was for the children. Ryan threw that guitar off of a bridge for the children.
I feel like there's got to be someone that they could hire to do a video where they independently test the theory.
I would do something with that. I live on a third floor. I have 3 floors. I'll throw it off a third floor.
Well, you have 3 floors, and or we could take it into the city and break it in there.
Throw it in front of a bus. That's not illegal at all.
Yeah, it's not like they're prosecuting for any property damage right now anyways. So
okay. Thanks.
Sorry, is that too spicy for right now?
Please like, comment, subscribe, and rate and review on iTunes. That really helps us. Until next time, my name is Emily.
My name is Andrew.
Bye. Bye.